Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, February 12th, and you are watching the GamerCrafting podcast. Hi everyone, and today I wanted to take you on a little tour of all of my works in progress. Strap in, there's a few. This doesn't include some of the ones that I couldn't find that have been sucked into the vortex of of my personal stash. The shop stash lives on shelves and stuff that are basically just over there in that area, and in the hallway in these cubes, but my personal stash tends to live in my closet. So sometimes things go in and they never come out. I'm sure if we ever move they'll show themselves. To be honest, I can't even quite remember what it is that they were, so maybe we'll just discount those. And I'm also going to show you some stash acquisitions, and what else do I have? And a finished object. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to go from... Stuff's falling over. I'm gonna go from oldest to newest. I might mess up the order. I'm not 100% sure of what I've got kicking around here. But this is for sure from 3 years ago. It was like literally right when I had started dyeing. GamerCrafting wasn't really well known, and I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to go more down the dyeing route or down the designing and kind of blogging route. Obviously we know what ended up. I enjoy designing, but I'm always really panicked that the way that I think is clear isn't going to be clear to someone else. And anyway, so I do have designs, they're just not plentiful. So I, a few years ago, had decided I'm going to do a book. I'm going to do a pattern book of like sort of geeky, a little bit edgier patterns. It's going to be great. I sketched out the whole thing. I knit through most of like the things that I had in mind, and then when I got sort of to the last leg of it, I just scrapped the whole idea because I wasn't feeling it. I didn't think that it was to the level that I wanted it to be. So I designed some socks, and I didn't love those, and I ended up giving them to my friend Mike, and I did 2 different kinds of pairs of socks actually, and I think both of them ended up with Mike. And I did this cardigan, which I'm about to show you. I did this cardigan, and I did some mitts and boot cuffs that are sort of like Kraken themed, like with tentacles, like a colorwork thing. I'm not showing you those because those aren't a work in progress. I did finish those, and I'm gonna have them re-knit with my yarn, and hopefully release those as a pattern because I think they're wicked cool. And I don't know, I think release the Kraken boot cuffs are a thing that people need. I know that I'm totally like picking the wrong season to work on this, right? It's like spring. But then if you're like me, then you wear boots 10 months out of the year anyway, regardless of the weather. Anyway, so with this cardigan, I swatched endlessly and redid the colorwork chart like a million times, and to be honest, I still hated it. So I basically finished it. Look, it's basically finished. I have some ends to weave in, and I had to sew on. What was I sewing on? Oh, that's why. I was meant to sew in a zip. I was gonna have this be a zip. But like the button band was all wrong, and I didn't love the shaping, and I felt like it didn't scale very well. And I know right now it just looks like a boring gray cardigan. It does have thumb holes though. I do tend to hack that into just about every sweater that I make, unless it's like 3/4 length sleeves, in which case I'll let it be. But I don't like things that sort of just hang at your wrist. I always end up like pushing it up or pulling it down, which isn't super great for knitwear. So I try to always have like a little thumb hole. But anyway, so the whole point of this was that it had pockets, yes, and that it had skulls on the pockets. So here was the skull chart that I had. If anyone is interested, I'll dig out the chart and release it. And I don't know, if you want to put a skull on a thing, you can put a skull on a thing. So this was the chart for the skull, and then the other side it was mirrored, so the skulls are looking in at each other. Where's the other one? So there's one, and there's the other. Wow, this is like a real good look for me, isn't it? So anyway, so the skulls kind of looked at each other, and they were on the pockets on the front. But after I finished it, I blocked it, and I was gonna sew in the zip, and I filmed a tutorial for sewing in a zip, and I was like, this isn't good enough. So so it sits zipless, and oh, there's also a hood that I never sewed on because I didn't like the way that the hood fit either. So it sits zipless and hoodless, and like it's just kind of languishing, and I don't really know what to do with it, because I mean, I know some of you will probably say in the comments, you know, oh, like, rip it out, frog it out, you know, use the yarn for something else, which is fine, but I'm not super confident that I'd use the yarn for something else. I guess I could rip it out and donate the yarn or something. It's decent. It's Cascade 220. So it's a pure woolen stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. If you have any ideas on what to do with it, you can tell me in the comments what to do with it. I think that, like, as a pattern it didn't work, but as a cardigan it would probably fit someone with shoulders less broad than mine, and that's what I run into with every pattern, is that if I'm trying to grade something that fits most people, it's probably not going to fit me, even if I'm sizing it up for like bust and waist and hip ratios. Like, I don't know, the shoulders always like don't quite do it for me. That actually hit me with the pixelated, is it called the pixelated pullover, or maybe it's just called pixelated, but I cast it on when we were on our way up to Perth Festival of Yarn last September, and I loved the color work, and I was really enjoying how the colors were working together. And then I went to try it on, and I was like, these shoulders, like, there's nothing wrong with the pattern, I'm just very broad shouldered. So I did pull that one out, so that's not currently a work in progress, because I told my friend Sue about it, and she was like, just pull it out, you're never gonna wear it. She was like, Sarah's never gonna wear it, it's hot pink. So Sue helped me frog that one out. Like, frogging stranded knitting is like, that's where they send the bad knitters, in hell. That and like tangled skeins of lace weight, right? So that's, I think, the oldest work in progress. That's from a few years ago. And I feel bad because, I don't know, I don't really want to frog it out because it is like mostly done. Like, a person could wear this, it's functional, but I'm not gonna wear it. I don't know. And I'm always really dubious to donate stuff to charity shops, because I don't want them to, I don't know. I'm being too precious about something that's sat in my closet for 3 years. Anyway, if you have any ideas, drop a comment, let me know. So that's the oldest. What's the second oldest? I have to actually look down here. I'm probably missing something. In fact, I know I'm missing something. When my knitting club, Stitchin' Bitch, went to Bakewell, not this past October, but like a year ago October, so pushing a year and a half, we all cast on these herringbone fingerless mitts. I can't remember the name of the pattern, and because I bought a hard copy of it, it's not in my Ravelry library, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and see if I can find that, and if I can, then you'll see a little box of the picture, but in post editing. Anyway, so we were all knitting those, and I got pretty far with mine, but I didn't like how the thumb hole fit, because it kind of like pulled a little bit, because I have like quite, I'm gonna die all over my hands. I have quite wide hands. I have quite like sort of chubby hands and fingers and stuff. It's fine. I've gotten over the fact that I'll never be a hand model in my life. And so yeah, I don't know. I didn't love how they fit, so I think I finished one, and the other one's like 10 rows from finishing, but I just never bothered. So that's probably an example of something that I should either just finish it or rip it out. Like, enough. What's the next oldest thing? So, over a year ago. Maybe it's almost 2 years ago now. Don't actually know. I think I say this in every single vlog, but time is a construct. So this is the Irden shawl that was designed by Anna Nikipirovics. She's a friend of mine, and I cast this on ages ago and I never finished it. And I sold kits for a while, but yeah, I don't know. I should finish this one really, because I do like it. It's got kind of a mosaic, it has a mosaic bit here, and some big hunks of fluff over here. Dust bunny. So it's got kind of a mosaic-y bit and stuff. I think what I might do is I definitely want to make this shawl, but I think that it needs more contrast, which is what Anna tried to tell me to begin with, but I didn't listen because I'm stubborn. But she was totally right. So I think I might cast on with some other colors, and like basically what I'm thinking is I might redo the kits and with more vibrant, like more of a vibrant pop, possibly in a different yarn. This was it's a super fine merino, and it's not quite a single ply. No, it is a single ply. So it's a single ply, super fine merino. It's really soft. It just didn't quite take the colors the way that I'd wanted them to. Like it was quite, as you can see, it's very gentle. I'm not really like a real gentle person. So I'm thinking I might redo those actually. And probably get a sample knitter to make it because I'm so slow. I know I say that every episode, but it is true. I am very slow. I know after last week you're probably thinking, yeah, well, you made a hat in a weekend, but that's literally all I did. I sat on the couch and I knitted, and I went to a football game and I knitted a bit there, and that's all I did. I didn't do anything else. Whereas in my everyday, day-to-day life, I don't really get that much time to knit because I'm either doing admin or I'm dyeing yarns, scanning, labeling, twisting, planning, ordering, paying invoices, packing, shipping orders. That's usually Sarah's domain, but if she's not feeling well, or if there's a huge influx, then I'll pitch in, which, you know, anyway. So yeah, that's probably the second oldest work in progress. I think I might frog this out, use the yarn for like pair of mitts or something, and yeah, but I think I might redo the kits for that. Okay, I'm going to show you a definite frog. This was it was meant to be the Katie sweater, and I like it. My friend made 2 of them. I think she made 2 of them. I cast on and I knit to the part where you're supposed to start because you can't exactly see what I'm doing. Basically, I knit to the part to about like here where you start sort of like color work bit, and stopped because I didn't have the yarn dyed, and then like all momentum just evaporated. And then by the time she finished hers, I had a different idea for it, and I didn't love the yarn that I had chosen, so this probably isn't going to show up, is it? Because it's green and I'm in front of a green screen. How many problems like that am I going to have today? Right, so that's not going to show up, but it's kind of like a tealy green. I like it. I still am going to make this jumper, but with different yarn. So this, as you can see, I've already kind of started the process of, where's the string? Where's the end? I've already started the process of frogging. Look, I'll even frog a little bit right now for you on camera, even though you probably can't see it because it's green. This is the problem when you're using a green screen, which is like obviously a really common piece of technology, but you just make everything in green. Obviously green, it's probably my favorite color, green and purple, I think. But yeah, so that's a definite frog. It's getting frogged. And I can't quite remember when I started this. Wait, I can. It was after, what am I doing with my hair? I started this after Woolen last May, so almost a year ago. It's the campfire cardigan, but not the knitted version. This is like a big crochet beast. And I had started it, and I dyed up all the yarn, and we went, and I was working on it. Basically, with this one, you're making 2 enormous hexagons, and then you like seam them together, and it makes like a really chill, like big baggy cardigan thing. Look at how that pink is just blowing the camera out. Like it's just like, that's how pink it is. That's the Sugar Rush shade, and this is, that's nothing because I dyed that for myself. Anyway, so as you can see, I got through one hexagon, and I was trying to do them kind of 2 at a time, so the other one is sort of like, I think I got through some of the pink and ran out of yarn, and I was like, right, I need to dye more yarn, and then I just didn't. I should finish this though. So, oh yeah, so that's kind of that's kind of how it works. It's like you fold it in half and you sew them together, and it makes like a big like scrumpy cardigan. And I was doing mine in neon because of course not. Of course, why not? So I should finish that really. I think I did eventually dye the other yarn that I needed for that. I should probably like look. Because it would be nice to, like, I started it because I thought it really would be nice for taking camping, because it's so bright that I would never get lost, and even if I did get lost, I'd be able to, like, fly overhead with a helicopter, and they'd be like, look, there she is! I'm so funny, I amuse myself. Right, so, I should finish this, really. I know that we're going away next month, I wish it was next week. We're going away next month, for a few days down to Cornwall. This definitely won't be ready by then, but a girl can dream. I guess if I did nothing between now and then, I could probably have it done, but that's unlikely, given life. So that's the 4th oldest. What else do I have down here? An avalanche of stuff. Okay, so this is the 5th oldest. After Perth Festival of Yarn in September, there was a hashtag started and everyone was talking about doing their Perth cast-ons, and I was like, yeah, I want to do a Perth cast-on. This is awesome. Like, what an awesome, like, a bit of after. Oh my god, this is green too. This is probably not going to show up in post either. I really need to start knitting with other colors in order just to show them to you while using a green screen. I don't have to use a green screen, but it's a bit different. It's a bit difficult where I live because there's nothing behind me. There's a green screen and then like my kitchen table and then a kitchen, and you probably don't want to look at I probably don't want you to look at my kitchen. It's just like a big dye explosion in there all the time. And it would also mean that I have to like have everything look super tidy all the time, and that's just, it's not gonna happen. Not when you're trying to run a business from a 1-bedroom flat. Anyway, so you're not going to be able to see this, probably. But I did a Perth cast on because I was really excited, and I was going to do the Mitochondrial Socks by Dana Gervais, and this is how much I knitted. The cuff. It's not even like a particularly generous cuff. The cuff. That's all I did before it got abandoned. And I won't bother telling you about the yarn really because you won't be able to see it, but it was the Perth exclusive that I dyed up for this past year, and it's sort of like a mottled green. I'm not going to tell you about the yarn, she said. Tell you about the yarn. Anyway, that was as far as I got on those. I don't really know why those got abandoned. I think I should pick it back up. I think it was just because I've never knitted socks cuff down. I'm a toe up girl, and I think it kind of threw me off. Because I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I definitely should do that. Oh, and the project, also known as Ellen, who I love. Look, she's got a little tag there you can see. I'll link to her Instagram in the show notes. Sorry for my gross dye-stained fingers. But anyway, so yes, there's Ellen, and I'll link to her in the comments? Show notes. What am I talking about? I need to, like, yeah. Anyway, I have a really cool collaboration coming up with Ellen, actually. I'm really excited about it. She's doing super cool bags. I'm going to do some exclusive yarn. We're going to bundle them together. It's going to be rad. So stay tuned, I guess, for stuff about that. But as you can see, she makes super cute project bags. I bought this from her at Perth, actually. They're Christmas alpacas. Llamas? Alpacas? I'm going to tell myself they're alpacas. But look, like, that's so... I love it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, well, I need it. Who doesn't need 87 project bags? Me! I obviously need them all because I've got so many things hanging around. I did end up having to start buying project bags last year, about halfway through the year, because I realized I just had loads of stuff just like dumped into tote bags. But then if you have more than one project in a tote bag, things get tangled and lost, and it's bad. So anyway, that's nice for a pair of socks. Right, what else do I have in here? My bag of magic tricks. Alright, this is a semi-current project. I am still working on it here and there. This project bag is from... Is this one of the ones from Amelia? I think so. Amelia X Joy on Etsy. And look, it's got bats on it. I know we're not really in bat season, but whatever. Anyway, so I am making some socks from this double-stranded sock blank that I dyed. And the sock blank is called Emo Rainbow, so it's like gray with speckles when you knit it up. Yeah, 2 at a time. Concurrent. They're not on the same circular though. I tried doing that and my brain was just like... And I also felt like I spent so much time like adjusting the cord that it frustrated me, so now I just buy 2 sets of needles. What have I got here? I've got a set of Hayas and I've got a set of Addies for these. I'll show you the sock blank. Sorry, I have it kind of tidied because I had let it get untidy, and that was bad. In fact, it's probably still a bit untidy because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. What have I done? This is so on brand for me. Alright, I'm just gonna deal with this later. That's probably a bad plan, but... So this is the double-stranded sock blank. It's just your average sock yarn. And it's got kind of a silvery gray, light gray base, and then like crazy speckles. As you can see, wrong side. As you can see, I'm almost done with the purple, and I'm about to move into the blue. So it's quite fun to knit that way. I hadn't been planning on making socks with this even after I dyed it because, I don't know, it just didn't really like, yeah, I'm definitely going to regret having done that later. I wasn't planning on making socks, and then somebody who bought one posted it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I need like tall rainbow socks with speckles, obviously. So, I mean, yeah. I'm basically just doing this because I really love the autofocus feature of this camera. Wonder how close I can get. No, that's too close. Anyway, so that's still a relatively current work in progress. Like, it hasn't really been abandoned. Not really, anyway. Oh, and here's my Yarn Maiden pin that I got from It's a Stitch Up at Yarnporium back in November. I don't know, that feels like a lifetime ago. So that's still a relatively current work in progress. What else do I have? I think that's most things. Oh, I've got yarn rolling away. And alright. So this is what I've been working on the last few nights. This does contain a spoiler for the January Nihilist Rainbow Blanket Club, so if you've not received yours yet, or if you've received it but not opened it, I don't know your life, and don't want to be spoiled, then look away. Look away. Okay, so here's what I've been working on. This is using the aforementioned January month of the Nihilist Rainbow Blanket Club. I decided to make one myself this year because I really love having just loads of blankets around. Like, it's just the height of snuggly. So I decided in the end to do the northeasterly. After I waxed on and on and on in my blog post, I'm definitely going to crochet it. I don't crochet enough. Definitely going to crochet this blanket. I went to my stitching club and somebody had a northeasterly and I mooned over it for ages and went home and immediately bought the pattern and the and the like expansion pack on it called Southeasterly. But yeah, so I started on that. So I've got, how many blocks have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4? 2 of each, 4 blocks? Like, yeah, slow knitter. 4 blocks, this is chunky, this is the chunky weight. I'm basically weighing as I go it looks really messy. It's because it is messy. What have I done? Oh my god, I can't be trusted with anything. I've been weighing as I go to sort of figure out how much each little like strip, because I'm keeping it consistent, right? So like the pattern is possibly more of a recipe than an explicit pattern, but that really appeals to me. That's why I ended up doing it instead of something else, because it gives you a lot of guidance on how to make things even, how to do this, how to do that, some suggestions on layouts, but it is a bit more of like a recipe where you still make the decisions yourself. So I am keeping the ridges consistent in that. So I've been kind of weighing as I go to try and get an idea of layout, and then I think one more, is that a square? Rectangle strip? One more color strip each, and I will have an idea of what I want the layout to look like. I kind of know what I want it to look like in my head, but it's just figuring out the best way to make that happen, because otherwise I'm gonna forget what I'm doing, and then yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So like I said, this is a current work in progress, not abandoned. I've been working on it. In fact, I think I'm gonna keep, because if I don't do it every month along with everyone else, it's never gonna get done. I'll just have like a big bag full of 24 skeins of yarn at the end of the year that are like, oh well, it's not a blanket. Yeah, I need to order a smaller circular for this, because the super long circular is driving me a little crazy. Although saying that, it'll be easy to just sort of slide, I don't know, I keep going back and forth on that. And let's see, what project bag was that in? That was in another Amelia X Joy project bag. This is the, what are they called? Like Lula or Tua Lula? I don't know. Anyway, something like that. But I bought this probably almost 6 months ago now. But I super love this project bag. It can fit loads in here. Like, I've got all kinds of random stuff in here. I've got like a whole bunch of extra needles. I have my interchangeable set, in case you're wondering. I tend to use Hayas. Because I like the sharpness. But I also have a bunch of Knit Pro Zings that I take if I'm traveling, because they look slightly less threatening. And I also have some Addies hanging around. I do have an Addie click set, but I tend to use it more for the chunkier knits. What else do I have in here? I have some random monster floof. That's not going to show up either. And what else do I have on this bag? It's a bag of wonders. Yeah, it's a nice bag. I like it. And then also up here you've got the dog's knitting and feminism pin from, I always pronounce her shop's name wrong, so I'm just going to link it in the comments on Cat and Beg. I don't know. My wife is doing Irish on Duolingo and probably would tell me I was wrong. Anyway, so I'll put a link to her in the show notes, because that's a super cute pin. I think that's all my works in progress, except for those aforementioned herringbone mitts that are in the ether somewhere. So now let's do a bit of finished object. Yeah, let's do finished object. Okay, so I actually finished this a couple weeks ago, but I've not blocked it yet, so I don't know why I haven't blocked it yet. Every time I go to do it, I get distracted. Anyway, this is the Fox Wedding Shawl by, she's called Soft Sweater on Instagram. I will obviously link to the pattern in the show notes. I may have been holding it backwards. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Fox Wedding Shawl. I'll give you kind of a close-up of that stitch pattern. You're kind of going back and forth between like a garter and this kind of like drop stitch pattern. I'll show you both sides. And I used my chunky 13th Doctor colorway for this. As I said, I've obviously not woven in the ends or blocked it yet, but it's got a really nice weight to it. I think it used 300 grams. Yeah, So, I mean, it's got a really nice weight to it. I really love the shape of it. And it's a chunky shawl, of which there are not enough of in the world. She said is like the slowest knitter. I am quite a slow knitter. But anyway, so I did that because I really wanted to know if I liked chunky shawls. I do. And I really liked this pattern. It was a really good knit for like therapy knitting, because there's some things that you work on and it's not for therapy, it's for challenge. When you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking up tutorials every 5 seconds. But this is really good for kind of just really mindful, peaceful knitting, which I have been bereft of lately. So it was really nice to kind of just finish up the last. It was sitting as a work in progress for a few months where I only had like 10 rows left, and I was like, I just need to do it anyway. But it's done. I need to block it. Obviously, it's going to look wildly different when blocked. Hopefully, I will be able to show you that next week. Yeah, finished object. I know I told you in the very first that you can't expect a finished object every week and then proceeded to have the following 2 weeks with finished objects both weeks. Don't get used to it. It's not going to happen. Stay. Right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about stash diving. Because I am a bit of a slower knitter, I don't tend to stash very much yarn, because I'll just, what's that acronym for like stash exceeds life expectation or something? So I don't tend to stash that much yarn. I mean, I dye loads of it, obviously, and I do enjoy knitting with my own yarn, one would hope. But I don't tend to stash that much because I'm a bit slower, and I know that I'm not going to get to it, and also I need every available square inch of this apartment to be existing for the business, really. There's a lot of things that you think, well, you just need yarn. We need yarn and packing materials and, like, you know, green screens and photography equipment and on it goes. And then, like, things that you need to live, like a couch. I mean, I guess you don't need a couch to live, but it's nice. I don't think Sarah would be super impressed if I was like, I've got rid of the couch so we have more room for yarn. So I wanted to talk about how I was diving through my stash as I was trying to remind myself of what I've got, because I am going to unravel towards the end of the month. What is that, in a couple of weeks? Yeah, a couple weeks, or just under 2 weeks. I'll be there on the Friday, running around and interviewing people and stuff. So if you see me, feel free to say hi. So I just kind of wanted to remind myself what I've got so that I can kind of look at the vendors who are going to be there and decide, you know, who I want and or need to get stuff from while I'm there. So I did a stash dive, and Brooke came out with some of the stuff that I just wanted to show you that is, like, I'm going to have to use it soon because I just love it so much. So first up is this, oh my god, it's green again. Okay. It's like a green and gray. We can only hope that this will work in post-processing. Okay, if not, maybe I'll just, like, take a picture of it and then just, like, lay that over the top. In fact, that might be what I have to do. Right, so this is a Lush skein of mint. I left the label on upside down, that's my fault. This is a Lush skein of mint bee yarn. Her label's also in green. So this is her alpaca singles, so it's merino, silk, and baby alpaca. Mint Bee's stuff is super lush, and she gave me this for my birthday because I was, like, drooling over it in her Etsy shop. And she's called this one Absinthe Fairy, which is also why I kind of love it, right? It's, like, kind of, you know, moody and dark. But this is the skein I was talking about when I said I really want to make the Constellate hat. I think it's called Constellate. It's by Hunter Hammerson. That's another pattern that's a bit more of a recipe than super dictated, which I really enjoy. So this is bound to become that. Why? What is up with me and, like, making green hats? Maybe I really need to make a hat that I can wear on camera in front of a green screen for bed hair days. And oh, I'm really gonna make this hat. Oh, I'm excited. Green yarn. Okay, I'm definitely making a hat this time that's not green yarn. Green yarn. I need an intervention. I need a green intervention. Right, I feel like that needs to be the title of this episode. I need a green intervention. A green intervention? No, stop. So anyway, that was something I pulled out of my stash that I definitely want to cast on with very soon. I also have this fiber braid from, Yarndale 2017? A while ago. I think that's when it was. Maybe it wasn't Yarndale. No, it was Yarndale. So this is a fiber braid from Cat and Sparrow, who sells super lush fiber. She's super cool. So I bought an electric eel wheel mini spinning machine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not very good at spinning, especially spinning evenly and consistently. Maybe that'll be a podcast where you all can watch me fail at spinning. What do you think? Podcast about failing at spinning? Anyway, I super love this fiber braid. It's called White Walker, and it's a blend of merino and bamboo. But like I said, I got this from her like 10 million years ago, back in Yarndale 2017. But I love it. At least it's not green, so you can actually see it. But I really want to, I don't know what I want to do with it. Like, I definitely want to spin it, but yeah, it's gorgeous. Cat and Sparrow. Good stuff. So I pulled that out of the stash dive. Right, let's do, wait, what is this down here? It's the mitts. The ones that I've thought that I didn't know where they were. I apparently did grab them this morning. Need more coffee. So I'm gonna have to dig out the link to the pattern. I think it was part of a collection. Don't remember. But anyway, just 4-ply herringbone mitts. But yeah, cause like you knit these flat, and then you've got kind of this little like thumb nubbin, but that's not big enough for my thumb, and that's why it is left unfinished. I think I'm just gonna frog that out, to be honest, and do something else. I do like herringbone. I like it a lot, actually. All right, so yeah, that's the last work in progress that I've got hanging around. Okay, let's do some stash acquisition. Okay, so stash acquisition. I actually got this a little while back, but I haven't showed it off properly. I did like an Instagram live with it, but there was like 10 people watching, which is just enough. So for those of you who don't know, Dye Candy, Hutch is awesome, and she just launched her fiber range. She sent me some fiber to spin a couple months ago and give my feedback, and I'm terrible friend because I didn't, because you can see that this is still a fiber braid and not yarn. So sorry, Hutch. Anyway, so this is a fiber braid that she sent me. It's very Dye Candy, in that it's like really like artistic, and there's like little nips in here. This is merino, Corriedale, alpaca, silk, noir, wool nips, and Angelina sparkly fiber, which is actually my full first name. I think that I'm quite a sparkly person. I'm obnoxious, if nothing else. Anyway, so that I definitely will be spinning very soon. In fact, I think this might make a secondary recurring appearance. Maybe I will do, the more I think about it, the more I think I should just do it. I'll have to set up the camera differently, so that you can kind of see as I try to narrate my failed attempts at spinning, but I think it might have to be this. She also sent me, also sent me these, which honestly I might start spinning with, because the successful spinning that I have done, which admittedly isn't very much, I've discovered I really love Rolags, because I don't know, I kind of suck at drafting. Like, I tend to choke up too much on the fiber, And then I'm like, why isn't it doing the thing? And everyone's like, you need to like, probably says something about my personality being a little bit too type A. So she sent me these Rolex as well. Let me actually like roll one up because it sort of came on rolled as I pulled out of the bag just then. So there's some like neon yellow in here as well, which I just love. So she sent me a bunch of these little Rolex as well, and I think I might have to spin with those. First, what is this? This is Merino Blue Face Leicester. I almost blue face Leicester. Sea Cell Faux Cashmere Trilobal Bamboo and Angelina. So that's like a wool and plant-based yarn Rolex, and it's really soft. So I might have to spin with those when I show you, because I don't know, I'm kind of an embarrassment when it comes to spinning. I'm just not super great. When I first got my little electric eel wheel spinning machine, I took it, like, it's so small, you can hold it in your hand, you have to strap it to a book. You'll see when I show you. This has gone from like a potential idea to like something I'm definitely doing. But when I took it into my knitting group, everyone kind of had to go, and they were like, oh wow, it's actually like really good. And then there's me like struggling. So let's see, what else do I have that's stash acquisition? Like I said, I don't actually acquire that much stash. I do, however, have a problem with pins. I love a pin. So last week on Twitter, I was kicking around at lunchtime, just catching up, and somebody had retweeted a company called Power Up Pins, and it was, I don't remember what the picture was, but it was something that made me like, oh, I should go and check out their Etsy shop. And they had a deal that was like 3 for $15. I don't know if that deal's still going on, but they're UK based, and so I bought 3. So these are from Power Up Pins, so obviously they're geeky, and I'll link to them in the show notes. So we have this one, which is like a sparkly Princess Leia. It says Hope. It says Have Hope, actually. And then obviously we've got Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. And then just like a little 8-bit heart. So I bought those last week. Obviously they've not found their way onto project bags yet, but they will in short order. They'll either end up on project bags or possibly on a hat. We'll see. Also, I got like last week, I think, subscribed to the Sugar and Sloth monthly surprise theme pin party box. I got my mug from her, and this is like the world's best mug, isn't it? Come on, that's great. And I love her. I think she's great. She has a lot of like really good initiatives, and she's really positive. So I signed up to the pin party box, and I did like a little unboxing on Instagram, but sometimes when I try to upload like videos that it cuts into pieces, it just freaks out and only uploads one, and so then you'll be like, what is she talking about? Anyway, so it came with a whole bunch of confetti. As you can see, there's like still some of it like hanging around, confetti. And it came with a postcard. Like, that's such a good message. It's such a good message. I love it. And also like matching stickers for that. Perfection is a myth. It is a myth, and it's something that we all have to remember. Perfection is a myth. And there's a keychain that came with it. And it's, what does it say? It says Kawaii Potion Club. And a pin badge of a little froggy hat dude and a magic wand. And then like the main thing, which is the pin. And it's a dragon with sparkly dragon breath, and it says, I like adventure. So anyway, I was super pleased with that. And I will definitely remain subscribed because that was a really nice little surprise in my day. She's just the greatest. I don't know how she does it. I think that's all I had for stash acquisition. If you can consider pins, I kind of do, because like they're not technically accessories, but I put them on project bags. Sure. But anyway, I'll probably be sharing stuff from other small businesses anyway that I get. What else do I have? Right. I forgot to talk about Valentine's Day. Okay, so obviously I've chosen this super cheesy background to replace my green screen for this. in this episode. It's a little tongue in cheek. I don't really care that much about Valentine's Day. Neither does Sarah. Like it's if you are really into it and really enjoy it, cool, great. I don't really care all that much. Mostly because if you want to go out on Valentine's, it's like 4 times as expensive and crowded, and it's on a weeknight this year. It's like on a Thursday. So it's a bit like you'd have to come home from work, get like all ready to go out. Meh. But anyway, this year we are doing a Valentine's Day live stream. We're doing it here on YouTube at 9 p.m. GMT. We're going to be playing games and doing trivia, and Sarah found an old love letter that she wrote to me when we were first dating that she thinks is hilarious and wants to read. I've not let her look at it much since then because I was like, she might change her mind, right? But no, it's funny. And also, we're going to be giving away yarn and candy as a shameless bribe to get you to subscribe to the channel and come hang out with us. We have been trying to do live streams every Saturday at 9 p.m. We play games. Sarah picked last week's and they were like terrible, like choice-based retro games, but it won't always be retro games. In fact, I think next Saturday we're probably going to do a disaster Sims live stream where we've created Sims that look like us and named them Angie and Sarah, and we're gonna like let you decide what happens to them, or we'll just do some crazy things like let them set fires in the kitchen and stuff. But we're gonna call that the disaster Sims. Anyway, but we're gonna be giving away some yarn in a blatant attempt to get you to like us. Shameless bribe, it's alright. Tasty bribes. So anyway, so I dyed up a special exclusive colorway just for this. It's not going to ever show up in the shop. It is just for this. So it's like neon pink and gray speckly with like kind of crispy speckles, as I call them. And I'm calling this, I've got 99 problems, but a stitch ain't one. Ha ha ha. I told Sarah I was doing that, and she was like, somebody else would probably have done that already. And I was like, probably, but I came up with it organically in my own brain, so... Anyway, so we are giving away these on Valentine's during the live stream. We have a bunch of full-size skeins like this. This is dyed on a sparkle sock base, by the way. We have a bunch of full-size skeins, and we have a whole bunch of mini skeins, and so you can win those. We'll be doing like trivia questions, we'll be doing random draws, so even if you're not super great with trivia, you could still potentially have a chance to win something. And we also have a bunch of candy that we're going to be sending out when we send out these packages as well. So do tune in on Valentine's Day if you don't have anything to do, or if you don't really care about Valentine's Day, or if you were just like, I care about yarn more than more than overpriced Italian food. I don't know. Anyway, so tune in for that. That's going to be really exciting. Ready? Let's do a cover for YouTube. So that's what that's gonna be. I'm excited. So definitely tune in for that. What else did I have to talk about? I don't know. For the Valentine's one, we're gonna dress up a bit, so that we can be your dates for for Valentine's, your platonic yarn dates. Well, I'll be your yarn date. Sarah's a geek date. I don't know. She's not really a yarny, but we'll keep her anyway. Right, what else did I have to talk about? There was something else I'm definitely forgetting. I'm gonna remember as soon as I turn this camera off what it is I was meant to be talking about. And I'll have this big whole dilemma about whether I should just wait until the next episode or just turn the camera back on. We'll see. Oh, no, I do remember. So, as you can see, I'm wearing a shirt that says Zero Dawn. It's because I finished the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC last night. At long last. I know that came out, like, over a year ago, and I'm only just now getting to it. It's a twofold reason. Reason number one is we don't tend to buy very many AAA games right when they first release, because they're expensive. The exceptions to that are Red Dead Redemption, the 2 that just came out, whenever that came out. And we will be buying The Last of Us 2 when it comes out. Because those are games that we care enough about that we don't want to see spoilers. Well, I don't really care that much about Red Dead Redemption 2. That's more Sarah's thing. I'm sort of like tangentially involved as I like sit over here playing video games. I'll be like, oh, that's interesting, you know. But anyway, so I didn't buy it right when it released, and then I got kind of like to the last bit just before the end of the main storyline, and I was like, oh, I really don't want it to be over, so then like forgot about it for 6 months or however many months, and then started playing it again. Whatever. The point is I finished the game in its entirety, and it's great. It's kind of a Uncharted, Tomb Raider-y kind of vibe, kind of. Basically, it's kind of like a they look like a primitive community of peoples, like tribe, very like tribe culture, but there's these like huge super advanced machines running around, and you kind of have to like unravel the mystery of like why, like what's happened to the earth and why everything's happened. But Aloy is the protagonist, and she's super cool. She's got like the best hair of any of any protagonist ever, full stop. I've thought about doing some yarns for Horizon Zero Dawn, but I can't settle on colors that aren't predictable. Anyway, stay tuned. Anyway, so I'm wearing this Horizon Zero Dawn shirt. Sarah got it for me for my birthday last year. That sounds right. Sure, we'll go with that. Birthday last year. And she got it from Redbubble, which, if you're not familiar, artists can upload their stuff to Redbubble, and then you can order it on things like mugs, shirts, phone cases, so on and so forth. And she also has a profile up on Redbubble, so I will link, if I can find where she got this shirt from, I will link there. And I will also link to hers because I want to, and I can, because it's my channel. But anyway, she does a lot of cute stuff on there. She just put up a, if you watch Steven Universe, she did Lion, you know, the big pink lion playing with a ball of yarn. So I'll slap a picture up here, and then I'll put a link in the show notes. I don't know. I ordered one. It's not arrived yet. And then she designed another shirt that I do have a copy of, but I couldn't find it this morning, and I didn't feel like digging through the laundry. So here you go. This is sort of relevant because I literally just finished it last night. Right. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it a vlog, call it a podcast, vlog, podcast, don't know. I do have to say, if you have any video game suggestions for games that you'd like to see us stream, please drop them in the comments. I'm also looking for book recommendations, both like to read and also like audiobooks, so drop those in the comments. And definitely come check us out on Valentine's for the live stream and yarn and stuff. All right, I'm going to call that a thing, and I'm going to go and do lots of editing now, and I will get this up as soon as possible. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe. That's what everyone says here on YouTube, and we will see you next time. I said we. I'm the only one here.